What's going on, guys? I'm back. It's been a really long time, and I do understand that. I apologize to my subscribers and to the haters alike, but there have been a lot of things happening in the last 2 months for me. It's just been incredible. One of the reasons is because November is the biggest ratings month in television news, and me being on TV every weeknight takes up a lot of time. And I'm sorry, my grown-up job is always going to take precedent over YouTube. But also, in the past couple months, I'm not afraid to share it. I've been in and out of the hospital for a condition I got back in January. It resurfaced about a month and a half ago, and I've been in and out of there getting ultrasounds, trying to figure out what it is. So far, the results have come back positive, so hopefully it'll stay that way, won't resurface again. But that's another reason why I've been out of commission. But so far, I've got a lot of catch-up to do since my pregame video of, Kansas State? I think that was the last time I made one. Yeah, so we beat Kansas State. We went in there and we just tore them a new one, so that was always good. A nail-biter turns into a blowout. I love that. And then next up, we come back home to Norman. We keep it close with A&M in the first half, but then we just blow them out in the second half because it doesn't matter if they're going to the SEC or not. They are still the frigging Aggies. And so far, OU is the king of slamming the door on teams as they're going out. Colorado, Nebraska, Mizzou, now A&M. So let that be a warning to all other teams who might be considering leaving. We're going to slam the door on you. Anyway, but then here we go. Elephant in the room. This is the statement that you haters have been waiting for this entire time right here. We lost to Baylor. And that game just made me angry. Just made me really angry. I mean, the offense lost its identity. They weren't clicking at points during that game. But it was the secondary that failed us. That porous secondary. That's probably the poorest I've seen them play all year, with the exception of the Tech game. That and the Tech game. It's just a complete Jekyll and Hyde attitude I've seen out of them. It was just incredible. But in the end of the game, yeah, I was ticked. But at the same time, I had to give it up to Baylor because they earned that game. They played really well, and they earned that game. When you don't beat a team for 20 years, eventually you're going to get one on them. And with this Baylor team, it makes sense that this Baylor team was the one to break the streak. But I hope you Bears fans enjoy that, because once RG3 leaves, it's back to the bottom with you guys. So, what's coming up next? Well, we also beat Iowa State at home, but we were supposed to. So, this is the game right here. This is Bedlam, and it's the biggest Bedlam game of them all! Just like the one before that, and the one before that, and the one before that was the biggest Bedlam game ever. This game always gets so hyped up, but it is a great in-state rivalry. So here we go. Bedlam, the Sooners are getting ready in practice. The Cowgirls are trying to figure out what outfit they want to wear for Saturday. So here we go. What are the keys to going into this game? Well, OU going into this game, yeah, we're probably going to go in as the underdog or whatever. We're probably, Oklahoma State's probably going to be favored by a touchdown, maybe 10 points, maybe 14, and that's fine, because anytime you go against OU, against Oklahoma State, you're always going to have egg on your face. Check the last 7 years. So far, the psychology of this series is on OU side, because it doesn't matter if it's in Norman or in Stillwater, where everyone breaks out their paddles. And again, don't ask, don't tell. I don't want to know what you guys do up in Stillwater. I know you guys get bored, but I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But here's the key to winning this game. In my opinion, it relies squarely on the shoulders of the offense. I'll get to the defense in a minute, but the offense is really going to set the tone for this, because we've seen in the Iowa State game, as compared to games in the past, that the tone of this offense, in my mind, has gone a complete 180. And that's probably due in large part to the loss of Ryan Broyles, because Ryan Broyles was our go-to guy. We're already going into this game with a disadvantage without him, but even when he wasn't our go-to guy, he was still a guy to get out there so that so the defenses double up on him and leave guys like Kenny Stills open who can make the catch and go far. But we don't have Broyles around anymore, so at first we were of course, the hurry-up, fast-paced offense. But now, as I saw in the Iowa State game, our defense has slowed down to a much slower pace. We're beginning to favor pounding the ball up your nose a whole lot more, and we are enjoying some success with that. Roy Finch, yeah, kind of 50-50. He shows rushes of brilliance, and then he gets tackled behind the line. Brennan Clay also has his flashes of brilliance, but again, 50-50. The loss of Dominique Whaley's also hurt us too. But we are seeing a lot more of Blake Bell, the Belldozer, in the short yardage situations. I'm glad we got a guy who can pound it in. I'm glad we can run that play where Blake Bell goes right in behind Ripkowski in a counter play and just drives it right on in, and no one can stop it. I like having a play like that. I like having a 245-pound quarterback that we can go to for the short yardage situations. I like that. I like it a lot. We've got a quarterback who's a gunslinger in Landry Jones, and then we've got Blake Bell who can just charge forward. He's already behind a 200-plus pound fullback who's blocking for him, and then you've got a 200-plus pound quarterback. So I like that play. I really do. It's going to come on the offense and on the shoulders of these inexperienced wide receivers, because now with Kenny Stills has become our go-to guy. And so far, Trey Franks, sometimes Jazz Reynolds, I'm not sure how his arm's doing. You know, he's stepped up for us in the past, but we might not have him for this game. So we are going to seriously look for guys like Camille, like DeJuan Miller, Franks, maybe sometimes to seriously step up and be those reliable targets for Landry Jones. They, along with Kenny Stills, have to play out of their minds. But it's going to be this slower-paced offense, in my opinion, as long as it keeps scoring, as long as it keeps being successful, that's going to set the tone for this, because Oklahoma State's going to come firing on all cylinders, but they've still got the hurry-up, high-powered offense, because they've got the weapons to have that. With Brandon Whedon, Justin Blackman, Cooper, they've got the weapons. But their defense, not good. Not so good. And I like how we're running more reverses. I like those plays. They're successful. They're fun to watch if they're successful. So I'll look for more of that. I'm counting on the Oklahoma State defense to be their normal self, to be not so good. I mean, they got beat by Iowa State, so whatever. But again, this game is going to be an all-out shootout in my opinion. And then going on to the defense, the secondary's got to tighten up like nothing else. In Iowa State, we saw that they had gotten a lot better. They weren't nearly so porous. The defense played a heck of a lot better. We had a huge loss of Ronell Lewis on the defensive line. Probably still not going to be in there for us. Who knows? But they really stepped up. But again, that's Iowa State's offense. And I don't care what anyone says. Iowa State is not the best offense. But then again, they still beat Oklahoma State with that offense. So who knows? So far, it's going to rest on the shoulders of the secondary and the defensive line to get pressure on Whedon, as always. But the secondary, if they can eliminate Blackman, done and done. If they can do what Iowa State did and eliminate Blackman from the equation, done and done for the Cowboys. You take away their go-to guy, that seriously limits their offense. But of course it's going to be loud, and I expect this to be a shootout until the exact fourth quarter, because in the fourth quarter, that's when the craziness happens. But of course, OU is still going to beat Oklahoma State. Sorry, Cowboys. We're going to ruin your national title hopes. You're not going to get the Big 12 from us. I'm calling it. I'm calling it right here, right now. Every single year, you say you can beat us. Every single year, and what happens? You can't. I don't know if it's just in your genes or in your DNA or the fact that you just suck, which you do. You can't beat us. And until you've beaten us, you can't say you can beat us. Check the last 7 years, and it's about to be 8. OU wins this game. We go on to the Fiesta Bowl. There's the season. Boomer Sooner. Raw Oklahoma, fight for OKU, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Come and get us, Cowboys.